Hello, good morning, all of you. So, in our previous lecture, we discussed contributions of different scientists, including Louis Pasteur, Robert Koch, Ivan Ivanovsky, Vinogradsky, Benjering, Robert Koch, etc. So, these contributions really made the development and great contributions to microbiological science. So, we discussed different types of the discoveries were made by these scientists which are really useful to human being. Now we are studying here beneficial and harmful activities of microorganisms. We know that microorganisms are present everywhere in our environment. They are present in soil, they are present in water, they are present in sewage, they are present in food material, in air, milk, as well as in environment also. So everywhere these organisms are present. We can't observe the organism, but they are interacting with each other and they play very important role in agriculture point of view as well as in industrial point of view as well as in case of sewage as well as in decomposition of the polysaccharides in formation of fermentation products. So different activities are there. Some activities are beneficial or advantageous to us, some activities are harmful to us. The organisms which are playing beneficial role, they are said to be useful or beneficial organisms, whereas those organisms which are harmful to us, they are called as pathogenic microorganism. It means that some organisms causes diseases in human being, some organisms they are responsible for spoilage of food material. So these organisms are harmful to us really. So we are discussing here the role of microorganism or the beneficial and harmful activities of microorganism, means useful organism and harmful organism to us. So what is the role of bacteria in nature? What is the beneficial activities of microorganism? Role of nature, role of microorganism in nature. So what is the role of bacteria in nature? So bacteria which are present in soil, they are going to decompose organic matter by decay and putrefaction and keep our earth clean. Certain organisms they are having ability to produce certain enzymes and with the help of which they can degrade certain organic material and they are also responsible for putrefaction. What is putrefaction? The putrefaction is anaerobic decomposition of organic compounds which releases foul smell. But here the organism role is important as they are going to decompose or they are going to degrade certain complex organic macromolecules into simpler one and the decaying process is there, putrefaction or anaerobic decomposition or degradation of organic compound is there and which is going to release the foul smell. So this is one of the useful activity of microorganism because degradation is important here. If the compounds are remain as it is, that is no use at all. If they are going to decompose and degrade into small molecules, they will get mixed into soil and it is really beneficial to us. Second activity of microorganism is control of pollution. We know that different types of pollutions are there, air pollution as well as water pollution. So different organisms they are going to that means cause different types of the pollutions as well as they are going to simultaneously some organisms are having ability to degrade certain pesticides and petroleum waste. We know that industrial waste is there, sewage or domestic waste is there, and whenever this waste is disposed in water bodies, water body also get contaminated and polluted. That results in water pollution. Air pollution is due to certain types of the smokes which is produced by factories and industries and obnoxious gases are also there which is going to mix in the environment and getting really the spoilage or pollution of the air. So environmental pollution is due to this type of the gases, unwanted material or the products which are released by industries and whatever sewage is there for from industry as well as the domestic sewage, which is mixed in the water bodies. Again, the water body get also polluted. It means that water pollution is there, air pollution is there, and this pollution should be minimized. So it is observed that certain beneficial kind of organisms, they are having ability to degrade pesticides and petroleum waste and other man-made pollutants. We know petroleum as well as pesticides, they are man-made. We use pesticides in order to control the pest, but ultimately the pesticides and petroleum waste are all ultimately chemicals, means they are containing chemical compounds, and these, due to these chemical compounds, there is a pollution definitely in the environment. So to degrade pesticide, certain organisms are responsible to degrade pesticide, due to which the pesticide, which is chemical ultimately, is converted into simple chemical compound which may be less harmless. And therefore the pesticide degradation or petroleum waste degradation is important here in order to minimize the pollution. Then the second one is the role of microorganism. In industry as well as in other types of the agriculture waste also we can see here the role of microorganism. It is disposal of agro waste. So when the agro waste means agricultural waste is there coming from the farm and fields, this sewage as well as the sewage which is from houses and industrial waste, it is going to be discharged from industry. So water which is discharged from industry as well as from houses, it is wastewater or it is sewage. So it is observed that certain organisms, they are having ability to decompose organic waste of sewage and agriculture into humus, which can improve the soil fertility. So humus, that is actually the decomposed matter actually. So whenever the waste is there produced from industries or factories or houses, this waste which is containing chemicals, this chemicals responsible for pollution. So here the bacteria are going to degrade such type of the organic waste, and there is a humus formation, and when this humus is added into soil, naturally the fertility of the soil can be increased. So one thing we remember that whatever organisms are there in the soil, basically they are interacting with each other, and the interaction of these bacteria is really useful to the farmers because it is helping to improve the fertility of the soil. Some bacteria, for example rhizobium, we can take the example. The rhizobium are present near the root nodules, and these rhizobia are fixing atmospheric nitrogen. They are having ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen. So whenever there is a fixation of atmospheric nitrogen by nitrogenase, the organism, they fix nitrogen and made available to the plant, pea plant. And when this pea plant get decayed, naturally what happens, the plant extract will be mixing in the soil, and whatever nitrogen content is there in the plant, that is also ultimately going to mix in the soil, so it will increase the fertility of the soil. So that is one kind of the beneficial activity of organism in which when they are helping the farmers to increase the fertility sorry, and improve their soil quality. Sorry. Then material cycling. Many bacteria and fungal cells or fungi decompose dead organisms so that the complex organic matter get converted into simpler one, and inorganic components are also produced. So bacteria regulate biochemical cycles of carbon, hydrogen, sulfur and phosphorus. Not only the plants but also whenever the animals are decaying, the organism also convert whatever matter is there in the animal into simpler one, and that decaying or decomposing of dead organism get mixed in the soil, and that may be organic matter or that may be inorganic matter. म्हणजे प्लांट एक्स्ट्रॅक्ट तरी आहेच, पण शिवाय ॲनिमल किंवा अदर ऑर्गॅनिझम जेव्हा डेड होऊन त्यांचं जे ऑर्गॅनिक मॅटर आहे ते डिकम्पोज करण्याचा प्रयत्न हे बॅक्टेरिया करतात. त्यामुळे पुन्हा त्यातनं इनऑर्गॅनिक किंवा ऑर्गॅनिक मॅटर त्यामध्ये सिम्पलर ऑर्गॅनिक मॅटर निर्माण होऊ शकतं, अँड इट विल बी गोईंग टू रेग्युलेट द सायकल्स. आपल्याला माहिती आहे कार्बन, नायट्रोजन, हायड्रोजन, फॉस्फरस, सल्फर, these are the different elements which are essential for the cell, for the building blocks and in order to synthesize proteins, enzymes, amino acid, etc. So carbon is major constituent of amino acid, nitrogen is major constituent, hydrogen is also there, phosphorus is also there in phospholipids. It means that each and every part of the cell, it is made up of macromolecules, and these macromolecules are nothing but they are made up of the elements carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus and sulfur. So these elemental cycles should be continued in the environment, and the bacteria, they are going to regulate the biochemical cycle here. So the bacteria helping to regulate the biochemical cycles. So some bacteria increase fertility of the soil and acts as a nature's farmers. Here the organisms which are present in soil, basically they are going to interact with each other and they're helping the farmers to increase the fertility. So they are actually just like the friends of the farmer. These bacteria involve in transformation of nitrogenous organic compound and maintain soil fertility. So bacteria, they are involving in the fixation of nitrogen and transformation of nitrogenous compounds. And whenever this transformation takes place due to bacteria, that is resulting in increase in soil fertility. Secondly, certain organisms, they are having ability to degrade biopesticide. The organism acts as a biopesticide. What is meant by biopesticide? Biopesticide means these are the biological agent to control the pest. We use chemical pesticide basically to control the pest and to protect the plants from such type of the pest infections or diseases. Here we are using biopesticide. Biopesticide means we are employing actually microorganism as a pesticide. So due to which what happen, the accumulation of the chemical pesticide will be avoided, it will be inhibited, and there is no any harmful effect of the chemical if pesticide on the plant yield or crop yield. So if we are using biological pesticide instead of chemical pesticide, then it will be very useful for us to increase the crop yield as well as to minimize the pollution caused by chemical pesticide actually. And it also affects the soil fertility, because whenever we are using constantly the chemical pesticide, naturally they are going to accumulate in the soil and it will also affect the soil quality. So we should avoid that because it is very harmful for the plant later on, and therefore we can use biological pesticide instead of chemical pesticide. So if we use biological pesticide, the problem of pollution will be under control. It can be minimized to some extent, and the crop yield will also increases. So two advantages are there over the use of this biological pesticide over the chemical pesticides. Then biogas production. So in gobar gas plant, bacteria can be used for production of methane by anaerobic breakdown of fermentation, anaerobic breakdown or fermentation of cow dung and animal waste. Certain methanogenic bacteria are there which can produce methane gas. So whenever there is a gobar, accumulation of gobar gas plants are there which are constructed in villages, and these plants, in this gobar gas plant there is accumulation of gobar, and the bacteria which are harboring there, these bacteria can be used for methane production. Whenever the bacteria, methanogenic bacteria or anaerobic bacteria, we can say, methanogenic bacteria includes Methanococcus, Methanobacter. So these bacteria, they are going to decompose the matter present in gobar, and from that gobar, and by using this methanogenic bacteria we can produce methane gas. So by anaerobic degradation or anaerobic breakdown of cow dung is there and animal waste is there, and this due to anaerobic degradation from cow dung or animal waste, whatever gas is there, it is the methane gas production. So in this way, we can produce biogas also by using certain organism. It means that organism help us to increase the fertility of the soil. The organism help us to produce gas or biogas. Organism help us in decaying certain dead or plant which are dead. So that means whatever decaying matter is there, they can be again organism can be used for decaying such type of the complex matter, and from that whatever elements are there, there can be elements are obtained. Elemental cycle can be maintained here by the use of microorganism in environment. So by using bacteria, to some extent we can control soil pollution, we can control environmental pollution either by using biological pesticides or by using the organism for degrading certain decaying matter present in the environment. So it will control the pollution, environmental pollution, soil pollution, air pollution, and simultaneously increasing the fertility of the soil. The organisms are also useful. Then secondly, dairy products. Dairy products are used and are produced. The dairy products are produced in milk dairy industry. So in dairy industry also role of bacteria is there. For example, lactic acid bacteria used to convert the lactose into lactic acid, and the lactic acid which help in curdling of the milk. We know that whenever curdling is there, the milk sample is heated for some at some time temperature, and after that the culture is added, and then overnight incubation is there, and next day we will get the curd formation is there. So how the curd formation is there? Whatever casein is there in the milk, that casein will be coagulated at acidic pH. And how acidic pH is maintained? Whatever sugar is there in the milk, lactose sugar, that is fermented by lactic acid bacteria into lactic acid, due to which the pH of the milk drops down. And when the pH of the milk drops down, there is a curdling, or there is a casein accumulation and curd formation take place. So it means that the lactic acid bacteria are helpful in dairy industry to produce certain fermentable products. So lactic acid is also one of the fermentable product. So that type of the lactic acid and other types of the beverages which are produced in industries, they can be produced by using certain bacteria. So certain lactic acid bacteria, yeast, they are useful for producing mild beverages, म्हणजे soft drinks. Then second use of the organism is in bioleaching. So what is bioleaching? We know that we are going to obtain the metals from ores, म्हणजे खाणीमधनं आपण जेव्हा धातू मिळवतो संमिश्र ह्याच्यापासून, तर ते आपण that process is called as bioleaching. So the certain bacteria used to recover metals like nickel, lead, zinc, copper, etc. from low grade ores, which will be economical. So bacteria are used to recover, to obtain the metals like nickel, zinc, copper from low grade ores. And whenever we are using the bacteria from in order to obtain the metals from low grade ores, it is economical one. Economical means low cost is required for this process. So if we use bacteria instead of other method, then it will be economical, it will be affordable to us to use the bacteria for recovering the metals from ore. Then in leather industry, leather, all of you know, leather is used for making purses, and this leather is produced by using certain bacteria, and these bacteria are going to remove the hair from raw hide, म्हणजे प्राण्यांची जी कातडी आहे त्याच्यावरचे जे केस असतात बारीक ॲनिमलचे, ते रिमूव्ह करण्यासाठी आपण बॅक्टेरिया वापरू शकतो. सो आणि त्याच्यापासून पुढे आपण त्या कातडीपासून लेदर बनवू शकतो. सो इन लेदर इंडस्ट्री वी आर यूजिंग the organism to remove hair, fats and other tissues also from raw hide, and when this cleaned hide is there, that hide is later on tanned to prepare leather. ही जी प्राण्यांची कातडी आहे ती पहिल्यांदा स्वच्छ केली जाते, त्याच्यावरचे केस किंवा फॅट आहे ते रिमूव्ह केले जातात बाय युझिंग बॅक्टेरिया, आणि नंतर मग ही जी ॲनिमल हाईड आहे दॅट इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू बी प्रोसेस अँड टॅन अँड लेटर इट इज converted into leather. So in order to produce leather from animal hide, the organisms are used to remove hair, fats and other tissues from raw hide. So later on it will be tanned and used to leather industry. This is one type of the use or role of bacteria in leather industry. So we discuss the use of bacteria in dairy products formation, fermentation products formation, bioleaching to control environmental pollution, to increase soil fertility, as well as in dairy industry. Certain bacteria are also used in genetic engineering technology, or in the, you can say, in the transgenic, that means animals, we know that certain organisms, they are transgenic bacteria. So these bacteria, they are genetically engineered bacteria. Transgenic bacteria means they are genetically engineered bacteria, and these are used for production of human insulin. So not only the bacteria are used to increase fertility of the soil, or to produce certain industrial products, or to produce certain dairy products, but also they are used in biotechnological purpose. As a research tool also we can use bacteria. So these bacteria are genetically engineered. Genetically engineered bacteria means here we are using two different types of the genes, and the two genes are cloned in particular vector in particular bacteria. So the bacteria having its own gene and the foreign gene conjugation is known as transgenic bacteria. So this bacteria is used for production of hormone insulin. Whenever we are having the necessity of insulin on a larger scale, then we can produce insulin by using such type of the transgenic bacteria, by using genetic engineering technology, or you can say it is a biotechnology. So by using certain bacteria we can use bacteria for in order to increase the crop yield and to improve the quality of cotton. BT cotton, the best example you know, that is the bacteria or biotechnological use. Then to produce single cell protein. Single cell protein, it is a production of microbial biomass on commercial scale, which is used as an alternate source of protein for animal and human nutrition. It is single cell protein, it is nothing but it is the microbial biomass, but having high protein content, and this protein is used as alternative for human or animal nutrition. If there is any deficiency in human nutrition of any element or growth factor, then in that case we can use SCP or single cell protein. So to produce single cell protein, we are using bacteria. So these are the role of, or these are the activities, beneficial activities of bacteria. In beneficial activities, what we discuss, bacteria are useful to humankind by several ways. They can play a very important role in agriculture field, in improving soil fertility. They are important in maintaining elemental cycle in environment. They are important in reducing environmental pollution, soil pollution, by converting or by decaying organisms and other plants and maintaining the cycle, elemental cycle. Secondly, in bioleaching process, whenever there is extraction of metals from ore, the organism can be used. The organism can be also used as a biopesticide to control the pollution. By chemical pesticides, we can use biopesticide. Secondly, in case of dairy industry also we can use certain organism to obtain dairy products. In case of fermentation industry also we employ organism in order to get beverages. Then in biotechnological use, that is for transgenic bacteria production. So you can produce genetic engineering bacteria which can be used in production of human insulin or hormone, as well as in production of proteins. Single cell protein can be also produced by using the cell biomass, and the protein which is having the high content is there, and naturally it is used for the as the alternative for human and animal nutrition. So these are the beneficial and useful activities of bacteria. In next lecture we will discuss the harmful activities of bacteria. Thank you.